Hi, and welcome to this bike build of this new disc trucker P Lime Soup version. It's gonna be exciting because we're gonna build it up with the newest Shimano GRX Group, the gravel group, and I'm also gonna use all Shimano parts, like pro parts. It's gonna be a Shimano party. Feel free to skip through the video if you would like. And like always, I'm gonna start with the trickiest part, and that is the pressing of the cups, the upper and the down cup on the head tube. So I'm gonna start with that. It's all nice and smooth in here now. I'm gonna grease it up and press it together to have the headset installed. So let's start with that. Well, as you can see, I installed the headset press, and you can also see how long this new head tube of this disc trucker surely is now. It's quite almost an inch longer than the previous frame. It differs per headset, but it's always, I think, it's always hard to get the decals right on the headset. Luckily, this upper cup has no decal at all. It's on the cover, so I don't have to pay a lot of attention at that one. But the down of the lower cup has two decals, and in this case I point one forwards and one backwards. It's always difficult to see what is the center of a logo because there are letters on there, but you know, optical, you want to shift it a little bit, but well, you'll see later on the photo. But I think this way it's okay, but you have to pay attention when you turn the press that it doesn't move, because it happened once and it's no fun if the decal is right here. You always see that. So well, I will start pressing and then show you the result, because it's a little bit boring to watch me turn that wheel. So see you in a bit. It's finished, and it's turned out well, I think nice. So no damage, yay! Okay, next up is the crown race. That is what I usually do. But we run into a problem because the length of the fork is so enormous that my tool to place, it's a junior tool, and to place the crown race is too short. You see, I cannot reach the end. So that means that I first have to cut it, but I don't like that because then I have to start 2 times. But okay, I will see how to cope with this. Also, what I want to tell you is, and it amazes me every time, they're very keen of sticking quality pass stickers on many parts of Shirley. But if you look closer, there's still some paint on the fork and well, I don't know, debris that prevents you to put the crown race smoothly on there. So first you take a knife and then you scrape it until it's more flattened. But I don't know what the quality control exactly looks at, but we'll never know. So what I'm gonna do, I think firstly I'm gonna put it on the frame and see how much excess tube I have on the fork, and then cut it one time. But so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, time to saw the fork. Use this small vise tool to keep it in place and to make a straight sawing line. So there we go. Let's take a few minutes. Now it's time to place the crown race. I've greased it. I'm gonna place this tool. You can make this yourself as well, of course. Yeah. It's no fun job because if it goes wrong, it's a lot of work to get a crown race off a fork. So I have to be careful. I do it in the hand, so I will not damage the lower part of the fork. So let's hope. So here we are, assembled. Still a little bit greasy, but ready for the next step. Okay, time for the bottom bracket. I have one here from Wheels MFG with Enduro bearings. It's a good quality. And you start with the dry side. Apply a thin layer of grease on the inside of the shell and on the cup itself. So it's pretty easy job. And then if you need spacers, well, you can only see that when you have play in the crank. So we'll see that later. I hope not, because then we have to take them out and apply spacers. So first I will try without. So let's do that. Works so easy with a new bike. It can be a real hassle with an old one. There we go, that's one. Let's go for the crank, the Shimano GRX one. Don't forget the dust covers for your bottom bracket. Shimano was so kind to grease it already, standardly. Okay, that's one side done. Now the other side. I already install the dust cover. Okay, that looks nice. Oh, and first the preload with the this little thing. There's no play, so no spacers needed. And now it's just tighten these bolts with it. This is the Shimano GRX rear wheel. So we're gonna apply the cassette and the center lock disc brake. For this bike we've got a Shimano SLX 7000 cassette with 11 cogs and 11 teeth on the smallest one and 40 on the biggest one. So let's see if we're gonna get that one on there in one go. I don't think I need a spacer for this body. There is one included with the wheel. So we'll see. Let's get the protection off. A little bit of a toilet roll. Okay. That's just great. Well, I made a mess of it already. Last one right here. Alright. Where are you here? Well. Now is the moment of truth. Do we need the spacer? Sure. Well, that's tight. Alright. That looks good. It's time for the rotor. In this case, an 160 millimeters. It's the same at the front and the rear. Once again, it amazes me how much plastic and material Shimano used to wrap everything. It's just insane. Alright, well, we have to look at the the rotation direction, and it's gonna be like that. So installing is so much easier than the 6-bolt system. It takes you like way less time. There we go. It's the same tool as the cassette. That's done. And, well, if the largest cock and the rotor is the same size, it always gives a nice nice look, I think. Apart from the gigantic brake power you will have. So now I'm gonna put on the tube and the tire. Well, it's kind of boring, so I won't show that. So I'll see you in a bit. And there we go. One wheel with tire. It's the Vittoria Trailtech. Just a simple gravel tire with a nice profile. 40 millimeters wide. Well, let's see if we can get this into the bike. Well, how about that? Well, it's time to move to the front wheel. Time to cut the hydraulic hose of the front brake to the correct length. Well, if you buy a brake set like this one, the caliper and the hose and the lever are already filled with oil. So usually if you cut the line and you stick the hose in the lever and you let the air out, not even always necessary, then you don't have to bleed it. So that saves you some time and oily hands. So we'll try that. I will cut the hose, grab the hose with these yellow, I don't know what they're called, little blocks that come with every package. I'm gonna try to hold them with my pliers and then insert into the hose. Usually that goes okay, but sometimes you have to use a vise because it's a little bit more difficult. But we'll see, we don't know before we start. So let's do that. I've got this hydraulic hose cutter from Jaguar, works really easy, sharp knife. So I wanna cut it right here. That's the length I determined. Let's see if I have everything, because once you're going, there's no stopping. Yeah, the olive is already in the lever, so you don't have to attach the olive. So there we go. This is the length I want, right there. It straightens itself out, this cutter. So you go. There goes the insert. All right. Let's grab the hose. All right. Wonderful. I wish it was that easy every time I do this. As you noticed, I dropped the lever, so no oil is coming out if I remove this end cap. Let's see. Are we ready? We are. Okay, using an 8mm little wrench here. I've got a little brake cleaner to remove the excess oil. And that's it. And now we can remove this block and well, finish it. Time for an update. I ran into a problem with the brakes. Remember, I used that little adapter from TRP to fit the 160mm brakes, but I just could not get it right. I had the caliper mounted all the way to the inside, but it was still not enough to run the rotor completely free. I had no room to clear it all the way, so that made me think: is the F6 TRP piece exactly right? I still don't know. I installed these old Shimano 140mm disc rotors. They're not completely straight, but it works now. The wheel is not, you say that, touching the rotor, as you can see. So I mounted the hydraulic cable to the lever, and that worked okay. It's easy because it's pre-filled, as you've seen before. So now I will mount the derailleur cable at the rear. and work with that. And then yeah, I will investigate further on with the adapter for the 160 millimeter rotor. Maybe if I get a Shimano one, it just works enough. I don't know, I will tell you later. To install the derailleur cable for the rear, we first pull back this cover from the shifter. Sometimes the cable is already attached when you buy a shifter, but with the GRX you have to apply it yourself. Well, it goes in from the outside to the inside. Like so. So let's determine the length of the chain, and we do that by applying it to the chain ring at the front and the biggest sprocket, the largest sprocket at the back, and then adding 4 links. Like so. Our starting point is here. Alright. And then we add 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna cut it right here. And now you can see how easy this ice tool is. It's now way more easy to connect the quick link. You can also use an electrical cable or something like that, but this is way easier. And I make use of a chain stay protector as well, so the chain does not scratch the chain stay. It's finished. The chain is installed. And I think it runs fine. Next up is the positioning of the shifters. And what I do for this bike is using the method Calvin Jones from Park Tools does. And that's to take a straight line from the drop and positioning the brake lever at the bottom parallel to the drop. And that gives you a nice position from the top to reach the shifters and from the drop as well. So that's what I've done. And now it's time to wrap the bar tape. And there you have it. It's finished. can see I wrapped the handlebar. And I hope you enjoyed this this video, and maybe I've inspired you to build a steel bike as well. Steel is real, as you know. So if you have any questions, just let me know.